Hello everyone, welcome back to our Make It in Germany webinar. Today we are speaking about this very important topic of job search. How we are going to give you some tips on how to look for jobs in Germany and what you should take care when you are trying to send your application to a German firm. So today we brought you two experts. From the state that said EV, Mrs. von Zelensky and Mr. Runge, that will help us and give us a lot of helpful tips on application and job search in Germany. But I'm together with my colleagues, Mrs. Umbanchik. And before we start, my colleague is going to give you some technical advice. And then after that, I will push you.
Yes, thank you, Jean-Marc. Welcome to our webinar. I hope you can all hear us perfectly. If you have some technical issues, it's always help if you go to webinar user panel and make sure you selected computer audio in your user panel. And if you have problems, switch it off and on again to solve most of the problems. And you can type your questions during the webinar in our GoToWebinar chat. Don't be confused, only the moderators can see the question. I will collect the questions and at the end our experts will answer the questions. You can also download today's presentation under handouts, so you can use it afterwards. And also we will upload this webinar on our YouTube channel. And just one wish from our side, we have feedback questions if you're leaving this webinar. So we will be happy if you leave your feedback to us so we can improve our program for you. So thank you for joining us today and enjoy the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katarina. And maybe we could give some overview about our webinar series that we have. So in the first webinar, we talked about your way to Germany in general, about what you should take care when planning your move to Germany. In the second webinar last week, we speak about the importance of learning German, and you guys receive some tips and possibilities. And today we are speaking about job search because, as you guys may know, it's really, really important if you want to move to Germany to work here. The first thing you may want to check is how to find jobs, because it's one of the priorities in order to get a visa, a work visa for Germany. So today we are speaking about that. And next on Thursday, we got our third webinar where we talk about visa and entry process. It's really, really important for people who need a visa to come to Germany. And next week, we are going to close our webinar series with the last topics on your life in Germany, where you are going to receive some tips how your life in Germany is going to be set up once you arrive here. Also very, very, very interesting. And I would strongly recommend you to take part on our two next webinars. I mean, on Thursday and next week, Wednesday. So, but before we start with the topic of job search, I wanted to talk a little bit about our website, Make It in Germany. And before doing that, is that I will ask you one question. So the question is going to pop up in front of you, and you can just answer. So it's going to help me decide if it makes sense, like to speak a lot more about the website. So the question is, if guys are still familiar with the official website. Oh, okay, that's interesting because when I'm seeing results, look like most of the people already know what Make It in Germany is. It's going to be great. That means the first part, we are going to make it very short and very quick so that you can have a lot of time at the end of a presentation to ask questions. So I'm going to show you the results, and as you may see, yeah, most of the people, almost 80% of people already know Make It in Germany. So that means that I won't spend a lot of time explain to you in detail what is Make It in Germany. So for people who doesn't know, it's the website for qualified professionals where they can find any kind of information regarding the immigration process to Germany. You can find information about visa process, about recognitions, about your life in Germany, and in general, every kind of information that you may need if you want to move to Germany as a qualified professional. So the website is available in 4 languages, in English, German, of course, Spanish, and French in the full versions. and we had over 59 million users that have used the website since the launch in 2012, as of June 2012. That means that the website exists since 10 years now. So yes, like I told you, we celebrate our 10 years anniversary for our website this year, and the kind of information that you may find for especially for today's topics, it's very important to know that we have on Make It in Germany a job listings with current vacancies. And the good part about our job listing is that the employers that have published their offer on our job listing, they are aware that their website, their offers are publishing on Make It in Germany. And they also know that Make It in Germany is a website for qualified professionals. That means they won't be surprised if they receive a candidature from someone from outside of Germany. That's actually one of the biggest upsets of our own job listing on Make It in Germany. So before I before I give a word to Mrs. Zelensky and Mrs. Roger to speak about in detail about job search and applications, I'm going to ask you two more questions, and then I will give them the word. So the first question is for us to know if you guys have already started to look for a job in Germany. First could be very interesting. Oh wow, okay. Give you maybe 5 more minutes. Not for people to answer. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, as you may see, most of 66% of the people have already started looking for a job. That's actually great news. But for all the people that haven't started yet, it's good. But for people that are already started, it's also good because you are going to receive some tips in order to improve, for example, your candidature and see maybe why it doesn't work and something like this. So it's very, very important that you guys stay in the webinar even if you already started with your job search. And the last question that I'm going to ask you is for where do you look for jobs? Because of the people that have said that already started looking for jobs, so where do you start? Have you guys searching for jobs on our own Make It in Germany job listing, or maybe on job search website on the internet, or maybe social media like LinkedIn, for example? Okay, that's interesting. So here you can see the result. I mean, maybe the system has some kind of problem with that, but it looks like most people have looked for jobs on social media actually, and another huge amount of people already use private job search on the internet. That's actually very, very also very important. And yes, and the last group is of the people who actually use our own Make It in Germany job listing. So yes, again, our contact where you can take contact with us. So if you have some questions, or if you have like a specific question that we cannot handle here in the webinar, you still have the opportunity to contact us. You can do that through email or through chat or call our hotline, and we are going to help you. And with that, I'm going to give the word now to the expert today because we are now talking about the main topic today. So job search and how to do a successful application in Germany. So Mrs. Zelensky, Mr. Honge, now is your time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes? Okay, that's amazing. My name is Janet von Zalewski. I'm here with my colleague Oliver Unge. And yeah, we will now talk about the successful application, also a bit about working and living in Germany. And we are both working for the Federal Employment Agency, which and we are in a special, yeah?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's good. Okay, amazing. Okay, so now I share my screen. Yeah, so I minimize this. Here's the presentation. And we had a bit of technical issues, I must say. but we have managed to join you, and we are very happy that it all goes well. I just need to adjust a few things, so and minimize this here. Okay. I'm sorry. We had to kind of room switch a little bit, and happened the first time actually. Now it's better. So I guess you all see now my first slide. And my colleague Oliver, the camera is not functioning, but he is joining, and we will at least listen to his voice. I leave my camera open the whole time so that you have a picture to look at. And yeah, we can just start. So this is our table of contents. First, we talk a little bit about our service, give an overview of the German labor market, and also a little bit just a few information about visa and recognition, which is always very important just to know, because we also don't know if you have attained the last webinars which were held in this section. So we give you a few information, and then we go straight to the topics for successful application. We talk a little bit about the motivation letter, the CV, job interview, job search, and also about the upcoming events that we have in our unit. Yeah. So this is the customer center where we work for. The customer center is a part of the ZAV, the International Services. And International Services is one part of the Federal Employment Agency, which is, of course, whole Germany. And we have an incoming center, which are we, who give advice and information for people outside of Germany who want to work and live in Germany, but we also have a section for outgoing, for the people who want to leave Germany in different countries. So this is all a part of the ZAV, the International Services. We also have recruiting centers, which are all our colleagues, which we work with on a daily basis, and they are spread all over Germany, which is very nice. So they also have their connections, and yeah, this is how we can really work very nice and help the people to get work. If you are interested in our service, this is our email. Also, the webinar is now like this, that first we give the information, and at the end you can also ask questions. But even if you have questions afterwards, you can always call us through the hotline or write us an email. And this is where you write to zav.webtutorial@Arbeitsagentur, which is the German word for Federal Employment Agency.de. This is our service. We do recruiting activities all over the world. We help with your application folder. That means your CV and how to organize and how to do the whole process. We give information about the chances on the labor market, how to reunify with your family, the visa, social security and taxes, recognition procedure, and of course learning German, which is very, very important to be able to find a job in Germany. And now I give the word to my colleague.
Yes, thank you very much. And
Oliver?
to all of you, hello, do you hear me? Welcome
Yes.
from Berlin. I'm
Yes.
here also in the employment services from the federal agency, and I will give you the professions in demand in Germany. Germany is mainly looking for engineers and IT specialists. Also, we're looking for nurses and caretakers, physiotherapists, and doctors. Germany is also looking for skilled technical professionals, metal workers, electricians, and professionals for construction. And we're looking for professions in hotel and gastronomy. The advantages of working and living in Germany, we want to give you the 4 main advantages. The first is the social security system. Germany has one of the most comprehensive welfare systems. Also, we have a free education. That's important if you want to go to Germany with your family or if you have child. The education here is free till the university level. But the university level is not with high costs. You have only an enrollment and a semester fee of 100 to 300 euros for a half year. The third advantage is the vacation per annum, 4 weeks minimum, plus public holidays like Easter Monday, the whole Christmas days, and the New Year's Day. And it also depends on your area where you want to work in Germany. You have there plus public holidays. And the last of the big advantages from our 4 is the good traffic system. Availability of buses, trains, trams, underground trains, interregional and intercity trains and motorways connecting all cities and suburbs you have here in this country. Now my colleague will...
And yeah, yes, I will go on with what you earn. So if you decide that these are very great advantages and now you're really looking for a job in Germany, of course, one big question is what will you earn? And there you will see maybe that there's also regional wage differences, but then of course you have to consider that also the other costs are lower. So if there are, if in one part, for example, in the east of Germany, you will get a bit less, but also the living costs or for the rent, for example, is then also less. So there are a bit little regional differences, but there is also something which is called the statutory minimum wage in Germany, and this is 12 euro per hour. And if you see as a picture on the bottom right, it raised over the last years. So in 2015 it was 8.50 euro, and now it raised up to 12 euro. So you cannot work for less than 12 euro per hour. But here, please consider that it's the gross salary, and in Germany there is a big difference between the gross salary and the net salary. So the gross salary is not what you have on your bank account. The gross salary, it's not with the deductions which come automatically. There are deductions which are done before you get your money. So the net salary, what you really receive, is less than the gross salary. And that depends on your tax class and yeah, mainly on your tax class. You have here something where you can check the salary. It's called Entgeltatlas. It's from the Federal Employment Agency, so the Arbeitsagentur. You also have Berufenet for Arbeitsagentur and Lohnspiegel. So this three we recommend that you can look up. One thing that you always have to type in is your future tax class that you might have. And usually, if you're not married, no kids, then you are usually tax class 1. If you are, for example, alone with a kid, you have tax class 2. If you have 2 works, you are tax class 6. So you have to look into the tax classes to really see how much money you will get. Usually it's about 30% deductions, maybe a bit more, that are done. So here we try to calculate a bit. So you have your gross salary, and from the gross salary there comes an income tax, and the tax, it depends on your tax class. Oh, I said we have 6 tax classes. So the income tax varies from 14% to 42%. So this will be deducted automatically. You don't see it on your gross salary. And then comes also church tax. So if you're Catholic, you pay church tax, and then it's 8 to 9%, but not 8 to 9% from your gross salary. This not, but from the amount of income tax that you pay. From this amount, 8 to 9% deductions. And then you have also social security contributions. As my colleague Oliver said, we have a social security system and you have to pay into it. And this is also done. And then you have your net salary. And yeah, this you always have to keep in mind. Then let's go on with a little overview. We also have a special workshop on this topic, visa, which is very important. But we just strive, just that you know which options are there. So you can go to Germany with a language course visa, with a job seeker visa. You can also, it's quite new, visa for the purpose of applying for a job training, visa for vocational training. As a qualified professional, there is a visa for academics, the blue card, maybe you have already heard about it. This you can also check on the Make It in Germany website, of course. They have beautifully listed all the information that you need on these topics. And then there is a settlement permit. So this is maybe quite interesting to know what possibilities you have. Then the recognition of degrees. There we also have a special web tutorial we are giving it. But here, just that you know, if you're not from the European Union, you will need the recognition most of the time. Like not all countries, but most of the countries, they need it. And these are the websites where you can look it up. Left for academic degrees, it's anerbieten.de, and on the right side, Anerkennung in Germany. And we also give information about this process. Here we have listed a little bit, but I have to speed up as I look at the watch. Here we have listed a little bit the costs for an academic degree. If it's not already in the online database, you will have to do the recognition by yourself, and then it costs approximately €200, and it takes 2 to up to 4 months to get it done. But if you have a job contract, then it goes faster, usually like 2 weeks or 4 weeks. If it is a non-academic degree, it costs more, minimum €200, but more hundreds of euro, and it takes maybe 3 months or a bit more. We also have a unit here in our house which helps with this. So if you're interested in this process, you can also write us an email and we will forward it to our colleagues, and we also help with this matter. And we also have a web tutorial, as I said. So, and now we are coming to the main topic, successful application, and I give my word to Oliver.
Thank you very much, Janet. So now I will give you an overview about successful applications in Germany. We have 3 main steps. Do you please go next in the presentation? That would be great, because I have no management here. Yes, thank you very much. Our 3 main steps are the investigation about the company, about the job. The second is the whole application folder with the 3 important letters. 1, the motivation letter. Second, the CV. And the third, some annexes. And the third main step is then the good presentation at the job interview. And if all is done, then you maybe have the job you are looking for. So we will start with the German motivation letter. The German loves it clear and structured. Yeah. Also, the employer likes if you give them a very structured motivation letter. And to help you, we will show you what is important on this. It's 1, the address of your company you want to take the job. The second is the place and the date, when and where did you write those letters. Then is the reason for the letter, and it looks always perfect if you put there the reference number of the vacancy on it. Then the name of the person in charge. Mostly you find those on the vacancy description, and it makes a good impression if you write then to this person in charge. Where did you find the vacancy and why this job? Is 2 or 3 sentences are good for that. then what qualifies you for this job and why should it be you, is also good if you describe it in 2 or 3 sentences. And then why this particular company, that you can show then, okay, you know why you want to take part or looking for a job there in those special company. Yeah, you close this with some form paragraph with request for an invitation, and that is very important that you have those requests for an invitation. And you close it with the German kind regards, mit freundlichem Gruß or mit freundlichen Grüßen, and your full name. And very important is that you give your signature under your full name. So in the next slide, yes, there are some of there's a checklist for the motivation letter. The 5 important things you have to do is the addresses and the name are correct from the company, is the current date and signature, not in the future and not too long in the past. Check that, please. And the right reference number of the vacancy. It makes a good impression because then the employer sees, it's exact those vacancy. You adapted words from the advertisement into your motivation letter. The human resources department, recruitment area love to see you know which vacancy and what the company is looking for. And at last, the correct grammar and format is aligned. As next, I will give you an overview about the curriculum vitae. Here's the same, the Germans love clear and classic structure. I will show you. The personal data is next to your picture, and it's your own data. Then the actual and recent activities are following. And here it is important that you know, okay, you don't have to do all of one letter. You can use 2 or 3 pages for the whole letter. That's better, and the employer can see then, okay, there are experiences and so on. I will show you in the next slide. Yeah, all those work experiences, and then at the next slide, there are following the work experiences, and after your work experiences, you give them your education, like which school did you visited or university, what is your degree, and what special things did you done. And after that, it is nice to have a few of you, what are your social skills, and to give them those few of your social skills, you can write there it after your education. And also you're following then with the language skills and special knowledge according to the jobs, like EDV experiences or driving license, and so on and so on. And the same is here to close this whole letter with your own signature. So there we have a checklist for your CV too, and only 2 or 3 pages long. All those long sentences you have in your motivation letter, and here it is more structured with points of view in this 2 or 3 pages. Then the correct personal data, your contact as headline, The timelines of your experiences have to be homogeneous. Also, is it important that the font size and the font and the typo is homogeneous? Use the correct grammar, correct dates, and close with your signature, please. So after those 2 letters, we have a thing what you not to do in this CV. No summary. You have your summary included in the motivation letter. Don't write long text. Precise bullet points are the best. You don't have to mention religion or party affiliation. Don't do that. Don't make it too colorful. Think about the German love it classical and structured. Don't use email addresses that sounds suspect, like littlemouse@hotmail.com or something like that. Use your name or your city and so on, that it makes a good impress. Now I give you some reasons for the application photo. The application photo can be colored or black and white. You have to choose a business look. For example, woman is good to wear a female suit with blues and maybe a scarf. Man, make it very classical with a jacket, shirt, and tie. Yeah, then it is important that the sharp contrast between your face and the background, and avoid light disturbances or reflections. Instead of a full screen view, choose to pose gently sideways, like the example picture of this sites before. And last but not least, smile. A smile is a good door opener to get an invitation for the job interview. Yeah. Then now I want to give you some facts for the job interview. If you have a very good motivation letter and CV, then you get the invitation for a job interview. Plan the trip with a good time management. Prepare adequate clothes, like for your application photo. Work on your self-presentation and practice interviewing. What is the common salary in that branch? Have a look and make researches about these things. Study the company's website. What is their focus? What they want to do? What are upcoming events in a company? Look for company brochures or reports, websites, and so on. Consider your answers to common interview questions and prepare own questions. The preparing of own questions is very important. The most job interviews want to get some own questions. So think about it before the job interview. And ask yourself, how could your day-to-day work look like? So for this, we have also a checklist for you. Good to take with you your invitation with name and number of your contact person. The description of the vacancy, read it before the interview. Travel documents with a map and directions, the most you have on your mobile phone. And the copy of your application. Documents which are requested by the company, like certificates or something like that. List of your questions. Do not more than 3 or 4 questions. That's enough for your own questions. A note and a pen makes almost a good impression for the employer if you take some notes. And don't forget the mute modus on your cell phone. So, and last but not least, I will give you some facts for the telephone interview. It starts with an appointment for the interview. Find a stable and quiet locations without any noises. Make sure your cell phone, laptop is charged and have your CV in front of you. Ask prepared questions. It's like the same in the face-to-face interview. Be prepared to speak German. And remember, your voice is your best friend. And smile, you can hear it almost through the telephone. So now I give the word back to Jeanette.
Thank you very much. Yeah, your voice is your friend. It's really like this. If you smile and you are on the telephone, the other person can hear it. And I think nowadays also, of course, we have interviews with video, and then of course you see if someone smiles. This information that we have, we also have a special web tutorial which we give for our clients, for the people who are in the pool of applicants. And there we really go through the CVs personally and look how we can give an upgrade. For example, one of the things we do in Germany, and I know that it's not in different countries, is the photo. So in different countries, it's not common to use a photo, but here in Germany, you also pay lots of money to make a nice picture of yourself, and you put it in your application. And I know in different countries there are different standards. Also, the long text. It's not really done in Germany, so this is why we give this information. We have kind of a different structure. There's also something that's called Europass. We also get CVs which are done like this. It's also very good to really get the structure. What is of course nice when you make it more individual and when you don't see this Europass structure, but it's really a great tool and a great help, and we definitely recommend this tool also to our clients. So it's also really helpful. Yeah, once your CV is done, then you can go on job search and apply for a job. There we have a great tool, which is our online job search, Jobbörse of the Arbeitsagentur.de. And here you have the website. It's and here are listed all the vacancies which are listed to the Federal Employment Agency. So here are really thousands of jobs that you can find, and it's actually also in other languages. You can also switch to English, and it's very helpful to find a job. Here you have, for example, different sections, different branches where you can click on. And here, for example, IT and Naturwissenschaften, and then it goes more into the detail. Here, for example, software development, and there you can also look for your jobs in that branch. And there is also a filter, for example, where you want to work, since when you can start your work, if it's home office, if it's half-time, full-time, which branch, since when is the vacancy on that platform. So there's this filter for everything, and you can use it, of course. There's also other possibilities to look online for jobs. And we really recommend this also because lots of people are coming with a job seeker visa, but actually if you're just looking for a job, you can of course do it online from your home country also. You don't have to really come as a job seeker. It also has their advantages, but you can, before you come, also look online. And here's the Euros website, which is also very good for it. You can maybe make a screenshot. Then, of course, the Arbeitsagentur Jobsuche, and there are also job listings on Make It in Germany. But you can also check, if you know companies, just check a company website. or some networks that might exist, you can for sure Google some networks. And yeah, search engines, there are lots of them on the internet, and we also have a list of specific job listings for specific jobs. When you send us an email to zav.webtutorial@arbeitsagentur.de, there we can also give you some very, very nice tools where you can look specifically for your job. And also you can do an application on your own initiative. This is also really very good, and I know people who really get jobs like this way, so they don't even have to post on vacancies. But if your profile is interesting, if you have good CV, good work experience, if you can talk nicely, then you might get in also without vacancy. You just apply with the skills that you have. So this is what we really recommend also. The Make It in Germany portal was already explained the first 10 minutes. It's really awesome. We recommend it to everyone. Here you have this quick check for a visa. Here you have the like all the topics which are important to know for Germany you have on this portal. And you can also contact us to Make It in Germany. Yeah, as I said, the quick check, visa section, job listings, world map, event calendar, and talking about events. These are our upcoming events. So we have web tutorial on different topics, on visa, on recognition, on successful application for our customers, and also specialized web tutorials. And this is one of our specialized for German returnees, which is also held like every 3 months. Then we have for IT experts, we have also events. You just check the zav.de webpage. And then we have also our recruiting activities all over the world, here in Brazil and Mexico, where we are looking for people in the healthcare section. And this is all on our website. And also truck drivers are in demand in Germany. And here you have in different languages, you have all the information that you need on this topic. Yeah, now we have we are going to our registrations sheet. So this is how it looks like. So if you contact us, then we might send you this registration sheet, and you would have to fill it out. And this is how you can get into our pool of applicants if it's possible, like with a visa requirement and your German knowledge and everything. Then you can register and be in our pool of applicants and be under our guidance. But of course, it's also possible to just get information for us. As I said, here is again our email address, zav@webtutorial@arbeitsagentur.de. And here again, our contact. We're also on LinkedIn and on the hotline. And we are also on the text chat. You can also reach us there through Make It in Germany. So thank you very much for listening to us so long. And now we are open to all the questions that you have. And I might also give the desktop back to you.
Hi.
And yeah, thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for your presentation. You gave really helpful insights on how to score a job in Germany, and we received a lot of questions. I think we are starting right away. And the first question is there any possibility to secure a job if you don't speak German at all, but you are keen to learn it?
Yeah, it's just very difficult to find an employer. If you are working as a software developer, for example, then it's possible. There are a few jobs, especially in the IT field, where it is possible to work in English. There are also some English-speaking jobs, I must say, or if you work as English teacher, but still you need some German knowledge, not only to work here, but to live. Because everywhere you go, you really need German. If you go for registering your home, like your apartment, if you do anything in Germany, I mean, the younger people, they do speak, lots of them do speak English too, but it's not that everyone speaks German. So you need a little bit, at least a little bit of German just to get along on your day-to-day life. And for applying for a job, we really recommend German, but because there are not so many vacancies where you don't need the language.
Thank you. Should the cover letter and CV be written in German or English?
It depends. The best
This
is
is a good
you
question.
write it in. Okay, who wants?
Das war abgebrochen. We couldn't listen to it. So I would say it's the best language that you really speak. Of course, the best would be German, but if you write it in German and then they talk to you and you cannot speak German at all, but your English is really good, then I would even recommend to write it in English. Or you can write it in German, but write down that actually you're still learning German, so that they see, wow, you're really engaged. Yeah, you really want to show that you want to learn the language. But it's very specialized. It depends on the employers. For me personally, I would then rather like to have it in English, because then I know the person really speaks the language. But generally, it's better to write it in German. Yeah. And not in another language.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, in the Arbeitsagentur job search tool, is there an option to search based on language preferences, like jobs where German language requirement is basic level or not mandatory? Is that possible?
No, but I have a little tip for you. If it must be an English-speaking job, then you put the Sternchen, the star, yeah, sagt man star, yeah. And then you type in, yeah, and then you type in the word looking, because then they show you all the job listings where they write we are looking for, and then you have the English-speaking jobs. So this is the tip that I.
Thank you. The next question, should I get my degree recognized before the job application?
If you need the recognition, then yeah, you should start the process as early as possible, because it can take really some time. But we would have to look on your personal situation and on your specific profession. So it would be really good if you would write us an email, and then we can. Our service is for free. I don't know if I said it before. It's for free. Also, the recognition help that we do, the sending the documents and giving all the information, it's all for free. So you can just send us the email, and then we can check with you whether it's something you should do now or later.
Okay, great, thank you. The next question, thanks a lot for the useful information. Is there a minimum monthly salary for a voluntary internship that I would need to get so the BA confirms my internship?
Salary. Well, there is this minimum salary per hour. It's, as I said, 12 euro per hour, and the rest it would be checked individually, so that you can also live here, survive here. I would also recommend to write us an email that we look at that case. We also have a special section for visa questions, and there are also our experts. We can forward them these special questions.
Yes, thank you. We are also offering on Thursday a webinar on the visa regulations, so you're free to join us there too. Next question from Elena. How fast do you get a reply once you submitted your CV to the Agentur für Arbeit?
Up to 2 weeks at the moment, because we have a very, very high income. It used to be like 2 days. At the moment, yeah, we make, it might take a little bit longer, but you will get an answer. Yeah.
Thanks. The next question, I'm from the IT background. First one, do we need Europass CV or can we use the normal format?
Es war ein bisschen abgebrochen. So the question was if you can use Europass when you are an IT specialist?
Or you using just the normal format? Is the Europass CV mandatory?
The Europass is not mandatory. I recommend it if you need help with the structure, yeah, just to see how they structure it. But you can do it also in your own way. And especially in the IT field, I saw also very nice CVs where you have a little bit of a frame, like a gray frame, and on the left side where the big frame is, there you have the section where you write your special IT knowledge and your language skills and all of this, where you write it on the left side, and then you have actually a CV on one page. Yeah, this is also, it looks also very nice. Here we showed a classical way to just show that the structure is very important, yeah, that you have a headline and that you have bullet points and that you go from your recent activity back, yeah, so this has to be clear, and that you don't use Arial and then Times New Roman and then a different font, or here you write October and there you write 10, but that it's, you know, that it's all aligned. And but it doesn't have to be Europass. Europass is a good tool if you need the help for structure.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the recommendation. Okay, next one. I have been called a few times by German companies, but once I say I still don't have a visa yet, they reject me, unfortunately. Could you give me some advices? Should I get a job search in visa, or is it okay if I'm still looking for a job now in my country of residence?
The problem is that lots of employers don't know about the visa process. They think that there is something like a work visa, like the green card in America, and then you just come and you can work. But this is not real. This doesn't happen. So you have a contract, and because of the job contract, because of this, you can apply for work visa for this specific work, but you don't have a work visa. This doesn't exist.
Yes.
Lots of employers don't know this. If they don't know about work procedure, they're welcome to ask us. We also have a hotline, and we also have employers where we have to tell them about it because they really don't know. So if you see that they have no clue, you can also tell them that there is no work visa, but you get a visa with the contract. And that actually, especially if you apply, for example, for the blue card, it's a little bit speeded up, and there is also a speeded up procedure, a speeded up visa procedure. We also give information about that. You can write us or call us. There is the possibility, but most important is that they give you the job contract, and then it depends also on the country where you come from. Of course, some countries it takes really long to apply for a visa, and then we can see whether, if you come with job seeker visa, you can apply for the job here in Germany. Then of course it's much better. If you know that in your home country it takes months to get an appointment at the embassy, then of course you come with job seeker visa. I would recommend this. And we can look on your case when you contact us.
Okay. And the next question, again, there are some of them. Are the services of this ZAV free of charge?
I didn't understand. It was abgehackt.
No problem. Next question, are the services of the ZAV free of charge?
Yes. There's everything we do is free. You don't pay any euro, not even €1. It's all free.
Thanks.
It's a state service. Yeah.
I think there are many questions about how the chances are in a specific branch, for example, like financing or engineering. Maybe you can repeat the most demanded profession again, maybe so all can see it again. Of course, everyone can apply, but there are
it takes years, so I go back.
quite a demand.
Yeah, of course. Well, the most. Can you see my slide?
Yes, you can see.
Do I have here? I show you on the slide also that you see, because then it goes more into the memory. So the most wanted jobs in Germany are engineers and IT specialists. Very much software developers with work experience, of course. Then nurses and caretakers, doctors and skilled technicians, and men and women, doesn't have to be only men in that field, and professions in the hotel and gastronomy sector. The hotel and gastronomy sector, mostly it's from Europe. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next one, we have still some minutes left. There was one. I'm a civil engineer and 45 years of age. Is it difficult to get a job in Germany with 22 years of experience?
It would be job experience is amazing, and this is very good. You would need, well, there's also a special law. If you're older than 45, you have to have a minimum income. This is also explained on the Make It in Germany website. And you need really good German skills. As civil engineer, you really have to know the rules, the laws here. You really need very good German. Also to communicate with the people, you have to make contracts, write emails, stuff like this. You really need very good German skills to be able to find a job.
What's the minimum level of job experience required for a beginner level? Can you give there any scope?
I understood beginner level, and before the words, can you reply?
Level of experience, job experience, to be a beginner level. So how many years of job experience to be considered as a job beginner? 5 or 2 or 5 years?
Oliver, wie viel kann man sagen? Job Beginner, wie viele Jahre?
It depends.
I would say
It depends. And yeah, if you make your degree in software engineering or something like that, it is easy to give your application here. And I think you have good chances to get a job. If you are a nurse or a caretaker, then it is good to have 2 or 3 years of work experiences. And yeah, I think it depends on the job. And it's the best way to read the vacancy description. And if you have no experiences but a degree, then write it down in your motivation letter. And yeah, then I think you can have better chances if you write some of those things in your motivation letter to make a better impression of yourself and your skills and so on.
Okay, thank you. And maybe one last question, because we have so many, we cannot answer them all, unfortunately. Wait, I have 5 years experience, but switched more than 5 companies during this short time period. So is this difficult to get a job in Germany, or will it work?
You mean that it's not good that you change jobs, but it's then you have even more work experience. Well, the employer might ask why, change the job? I mean, this would be interesting for me as employer. What was your reason? If your reason was that you wanted to gain more technical skills and that this helped you, then I would say it's amazing. So then you have more experience. You always have to see it in the context. So you always have to focus on really the job that you want, and the experience you have has to fit in there. Yeah, and this you have also to explain to the employer later on why does your experience, why you made the decisions you did, and why now this fits your target. Yeah, why do you want to do this now? So it always depends, I would say. I would say it's not bad to change in general.
It's always the question on how you present yourself, I think, right?
Yes, it's always the question about that. That's right.
Okay, thank you. I think we will close now the Q&A session. Thank you all for your interest and your participation. If you have any further questions, please contact us on Make It in Germany or the colleagues from the ZAB. Maybe you can, Mr. Lesky, again show the email address so everyone can still take a look. And kindly a reminder, you can download the presentation under handout so you can copy the email address again. Then maybe it's
Yes, I'm very sorry for our technical issues today.
That's not a problem.
It's just amazing.
Yes, we can see it.
It's like beginner's level. But here is our contact again, zav.webtutorial@Arbeitsagentur. This is the German word for Federal Employment Agency.
Great, perfect. So thank you also to our experts, Mrs. von Zalewski and Mr. Runge, for joining us today and give the beautiful but also helpful insights.
Thank you.
You were really
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you again. And don't forget
Thank you
to
very much.
stay tuned to our webinar on Thursday, where we speak about visa, and then next week about life in general in Germany. And yeah, good luck for the job search in Germany, and don't hesitate to send your CV to the ZAB.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day or a nice night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.